you've ever dreamt of a stroll on the moon, it could be possible thanks to the Lunar Embassy in Prague, capital of the Czech Republic. They can sell you your own little patch of moon in exchange for a few intergalactic banknotes issued by the Kingdom of Elite. We are granted an audience with its Chancellor and its monarch.
€12 for 100 lunar. Okay.
Okay.
And what can I buy with 100 lunar? 100 lunars, about €12, will buy you 400 square meters of moonland.
All the other currencies are open to debate during an incomprehensible economic crisis. The result is that everywhere, great quantities of money have been printed that are now worthless. Our money, issued in small quantities, has far more value than all the other currencies of the world.
Should the moon go into the Eurozone?
As on the moon, the euro is not appreciated in the Czech Republic. Recent opinion polls show 55% of the Czechs want no part of the euro, want to keep their crown. Here, because of the present financial crisis, any future adoption of the euro has been deferred until 2015 at the earliest. A former economic advisor to Eurosceptic Czech President Václav Klaus has made refusal of the euro a key aspect of campaigning for his new Party of Free Citizens. He presents three main arguments.
Having a national currency is good in recession because our own currency can depreciate and thus it can help the exporters. If we don't want to be part of a fiscal or political union, then we should avoid adopting the euro. And if we don't want to pay billions of euros to Greece or Portugal or Spain, we should keep our national currency.
A former economic advisor to former President Václav Havel, in contrast, is a firm believer in European integration. He feels the country was close to meeting the monetary union criteria when it became an EU member in 2004, and it missed its chance.
I think in the long term we are losing out. I mean, it will hinder our long-term performance. Investors that want to invest in the region will, of course, more gladly choose a country that has euro. The Greece crisis, somewhat of a popular opinion that it is the fault of the euro or it's the crisis of the euro, and I always like to say it really has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the irresponsible Greek fiscal policies. And even if Greece was not in the eurozone, we would have to help them anyway, like we have Hungary, like we have other countries. And even if China, to take an extreme example, was to go bankrupt, it would be in the European and American interest to bail China out and help it.
We have an appointment in Humpolek, 100 kilometers outside Prague, at a family-owned brewery. It exports to more than 20 countries. When we first arranged to meet the company boss, he deplored the losses incurred in exports to euro countries due to the volatility of the Czech crown. But a few days later, his tone had changed.
The advantage of the euro would be not to have to monitor exchange rates between the crown and the euro. Exporting would be a lot simpler with a common currency. But the inconveniences are clear if the euro is not stable, as we are seeing in the eurozone. If one of the big economies gets too far in debt and finds itself like Greece, then things would become very complicated for the whole eurozone.
We also sought the opinion of a Czech-Japanese businessman who represents tour operators and travel agencies. Those that deal with Czech customers have done well with the crown, but the others, such as hotels, agencies that receive foreign visitors, souvenir dealers and restaurants, took a 10% cut in revenue last year.
From the view of the incoming tourist industry, we definitely want to be a Euro country because we are in a big economic pressure past years, as all Czech companies have to give prices, rates in euros to the partners abroad. We plan that we will get for €1 25 crown, but as some of past years, Czech crown became to be stronger, and in fact we get just 22 crown per euro. So it was big loss, but from the view of the travel agencies who sell tours for the local people, there is opinion different.
Turning to the headquarters of Czech operations for the French bank Société Générale, we meet one of the authors of a comparative analysis of the Czech economy outside the euro and the neighbouring Slovak Republic, which has adopted the currency. The report's verdict is, it's a draw. Some sectors do well using the Czech crown, while others suffer because of it. And the same goes for Slovakian dealings with the euro.
We certainly can't say today that it's better to have one's own currency, or that it's better to have the euro. The biggest difference we've seen between the two countries is in the financial markets, where Slovakia has benefited the most from the euro. The increase in bonds market obligations, and therefore indebtedness, has been much sharper in the Czech Republic than in Slovakia. I think this is because when a country does business in euros, it is perceived as a lower risk country for investors. I would add that first the Czech Republic needs to solve its public deficit problem before it can talk about a date for entering the Eurozone.
Also, a much more pressing wish among the public than adopting the euro is to get the public finances right. A civic movement's campaign motto for the May legislative elections is "Change the Politicians," which is the title of a song by this band, which is part of the movement. We asked the group if they thought the country should, aside from changing its politicians, change its currency.
One quite interesting man told me why Czech Republic hasn't got euro now. Because the politician has got so much money from corruption that it goes to billions that they are not able to clean that money. So they are making pressure not to accept it. This is probably true. It could be. I know that there are convergence criteria and many things like that that every certain country must fulfill, but there could be also their personal intentions. Yeah. So have you got it recorded, or so you can use it maybe, and they will kill me tomorrow.